I was gonna say you can just refer to me Cloud God now on. That's just what like I even have customers doing it now, so I think it's sticking finally.
Cloud God?
Yeah.
You want to be the hot dad?
Whatever. No, I think we'll just keep it. It's on brand at this point.
Havoc the mouthpiece.
CNG. What's CNG? Oh,
COVID negative.
that COVID negative. Okay.
Mhm.
COVID negative Glenn.
Unless you want to be CP Glenn, I'm fine to change it
No,
back.
no.
CPG forever.
You guys are f***ed up. What kinds of friends are you guys? Where's Victor? Don't we have Victor to pick on?
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 5 of 2024. I'm Chris Louie, and just attended my first hockey game. With me, I have my co-host, the Cloud God, who always removes his shirt before getting into a fist fight.
Yeah, I know you call me the Cloud God, but I guess when I take my shirt off, you can call me Hairy Manback. So that's usually how I scare the victims into submitting. How was your first hockky game?
It was cool.
Wait.
It was cool.
Hairy back? Do you braid that hair? Does the wife braid that hair for you? Sorry.
No, actually, I don't have a hairy back, but one of the first people I ever met off the internet, his nickname on, I think, AOL was Hairy Manback.
Hairy Man.
Hairy Manback.
HMP. You go, boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, hockey game was.
And I can't remember
good.
what my nickname was. It was probably something stupid that you would
I
think
got
of
your
a 20-year-old.
AOL screen name.
He's like, oh, yeah, Skirka Shady? It's Hairy Manback. I'm like, what's up, dude?
And how did you meet Hairy Manback? Was this from an AOL chat room?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Because he was hairy man front.
Still am.
It's like a Craigslist misconnections thing.
Yeah, so how was the game?
Casual encounters.
How was the game, Chris?
Game was good. The went out with the company, San Jose Sharks. Sharks are like ranked the bottom of their division. We actually rallied back in the third period to tie it up 2-2, and then I had to leave because I had an hour drive home. So I don't know if we won or not, but it was cool to see in person. No fights though. I was very disappointed that there were no
that
fights
sucks.
at this game.
So, where is the arena? Is that in a sketchy part of town?
SAP Center, downtown, next to the airport.
Yeah, it's SAP Center downtown. Downtown San Jose is not the greatest, but there's a lot of police presence.
Oh, okay. It's San Francisco, which is sketch, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to drive in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the whole Bay Area is
San
sketch, but somewhat better than others.
Some parts of downtown,
Yeah.
San Jose.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, 10 years ago, I would never felt like sketch or shifty would be any adjectives I would describe for San Francisco or the Bay Area whatsoever.
Yeah, just goes to show how fast it can go downhill.
I'm not scared of
Couple
any of those places.
bad
I just
policies.
prefer not to be down there. So
Yep.
don't put myself in a position to have to pull a trigger. So
How come you didn't
Exactly.
Uber?
There were a bunch of us. There was like 100 of us that walked over there, so we were fine walking over in a group.
But no, I mean Uber home. Like, why do you drive? I'm
Oh,
curious.
I had my car there. I drive in to do new hire training.
but your car
I
drives
know this,
itself.
but why don't you
What the
just
hell?
Uber from your house
Yeah.
to?
I don't know, that'd be like $200.
Really, is that bad?
Probably. Yeah, I know it probably won't be cheap.
I thought like an hour drive home is probably like 10 miles because it's California. Is it?
It
how
is
far
10
is
miles.
it?
It is 10 miles. It just takes 2 hours to get home. So,
Wow, that's insane.
I'll look it up. I don't even know if I don't even have the Uber app on my phone. I'll check it later.
You don't have the Uber app. Wow.
I delete it. If I don't need it, I delete it.
so did you
What, it's
park
gonna
at the hotel and then walked over,
Yeah.
and then you have to walk back and then take the drive home?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Answer me this: do you have the Taco Bell app?
I do because I use that.
Do you
more
have the
frequently than
McDonald's
Uber
app?
I do because I use that more frequently than Uber.
You're calling him out.
Only
Do
right?
you have the
Only when the
Do
McRib
you have
is
the
out.
Wendy's app?
I can't remember if I deleted that one or not.
Okay. Do you have the Sprouts or Whole Foods app?
No, I don't have groceries. Safeway, maybe.
Not surprised.
That's the
Safeway.
local equivalent. I have the Safeway app.
Okay.
And we have Glenn Medina, or should we call him CNG? Are you finally recovered?
I think so. My head is clear. I don't know, for some reason
last week, even though I was okay, or didn't have a fever anymore, but was still coughing, I couldn't think straight. I couldn't think clearly. I couldn't put sentences together, and I don't know what it was, but this week is a little bit better. Yeah, it was a brain fog, really bad brain fog. Is that
well,
something
you look
you guys
better, man?
too?
Last week you looked like crap.
Yeah. I felt like crap. It's been a long time since I've been that sick. Normally it's like 24-hour bug. This one was 10 solid days of just brain fog.
Well, hope you feel better, man.
Thank you.
Well, no guest this week, but we do have someone lined up for next week's episode. Combined, we have decades of information security experience in here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Are you ever going to tell the truth? Like, it's always awesome stories, but are they?
They are.
Are they really?
They are.
Just every week we're batting 1,000 is what you're telling me.
I got lots of good feedback at New Hire of people that have listened to the podcast.
Oh,
really?
Kissing the ring.
There you go.
Kissing the ring. Who's their favorite character? Is it Glenn?
It's me, of course.
No.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they're definitely lying to you.
We come as a package deal.
Yeah.
This week, we're going to talk about protecting your X/Twitter account, TurboTax getting put in line. For our third topic, hacking cars, and close with brand loyalty talk. For our first topic, these are a pair of X/Twitter stories. Last month, the US SEC, our Securities and Exchange Commission, their X account got hacked and posted an announcement that they approved the first Bitcoin exchange traded fund, or ETF, setting the price of Bitcoin skyrocketing. Well, it turns out an attacker hijacked the account and the SEC had not yet approved the Bitcoin ETF. Once news of the hack came out, the price of Bitcoin fell back down. At the time, we knew the account got hacked, but we did not know how. Now we do. It was just a simple SIM swap attack. Attackers used social engineering to convince the mobile carrier to change the phone number associated with the SEC's X account to do a swap onto a SIM card that they owned. Once that was done, the attackers did a password reset and took over the account. The SEC confirmed that they did not have multi-factor authentication turned on.
I love that you said that we knew it was a hack, because I remember seeing this tweet. I was like, wow, a Bitcoin ETF. Who knew? What a time to be alive. I'm like, I'm sure Chris is so happy right now. I had no idea they got hacked.
Someone made money on that manipulation. That's what's funny.
Exactly. That the SEC account got hacked. They took it down and says, no, this is fake news. And then the very next day, the SEC officially approved it. So they were just off by a day.
So did it go back up? I guess it did. Right?
Yeah, it went back up the next day when
And it
the
came
official
right back down.
Yeah.
tweet came out.
Right, Chris? Where we at? Mr. Let's buy our... Oh, I just lost audio. Hold on.
We can hear you. Oh.
It's still at about 40,000. So it's lower than what it was when the ETFs were announced, but it's still higher than what I told you guys to buy it at.
Yeah, but it'll go back down eventually.
That's what they say.
I'm in the black. That's all that matters. I'm thinking about cashing out now.
Yeah.
Are you?
Come out ahead.
Yeah, I think I haven't checked all the
ish coins
that we bought.
The ish coins, I'm behind. There's no way.
We're way underwater on that.
Yeah.
You know who's way underwater? Is actually you, Chris. Because every time we're like, let's just do $100 in this coin. This one's like, I bought $700 of.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm like, man, Chris knows something I don't.
Yeah. So
It'll
of
go back
my
up.
$1,000 investment, I'm at $215.71 today. Thank you, Chris.
Oh my God.
You need it to go 5x, and then you're back in the black.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So.
Yeah, it could
No,
happen.
I'd have to
pretty
log back
volatile.
into. What was it? What was the app they were using?
Well, I
Blueprint.
probably don't want to say it on
No.
here, but one of the one of the major exchanges.
Yeah, that one. Oh, you know what? I lied on the Bitcoin. I'm up 64%. So I lied.
There you go.
It's
See,
doing a lot better than I thought. Yeah.
you're
Oh, so
welcome.
you
I'll
did
take
buy.
20% commission, please, when you sell.
Yeah. How about a finger.text? You can have that one.
The second related story is that X now supports passkeys for iOS users in the US. Twitter famously disabled SMS two-factor authentication unless you're a paid subscriber, citing massive SMS fraud. Authenticator apps like Google Authenticator were always free. I think the story came out that the SEC actually had multi-factor authentication on their account, but then they said they had problems logging in because I guess it's a shared account, and whoever has the phone number that's associated with it, it's really, really hard to share accounts that have SMS-based or any kind of multi-factor authentication with the one-time code.
Maybe it's just me, but back then you could not port a landline over to a cell phone, right?
It was it's
can now.
You can now, yeah.
But the number that was associated with the account was always a mobile phone because it had to get a text message.
Gotcha.
I hate my phone number. I'm ready to get a new one, but
Really?
I don't want to have to update my contacts. Yeah, it's associated. Like, you don't want this particular area code in Arizona for whatever reason.
Why? What's wrong with this area code?
Meth labs.
It's not Phoenix proper. Yeah, it's like the outlying
Meth lab
areas.
city.
It's this.
Mesa,
Yeah, a little bit.
Mesa, Arizona, Meth Lab City.
Oh no, that would be Apache Junction or my hometown, or any small town, Arizona. Actually, it's heroin is really bad now, but whatever.
I think it'd be
So,
fentanyl, with the fentanyl crisis we're having.
Probably. You know what? I should go down there and try to see what I can score. And let you guys know. Hey guys, what's popular in the streets? I could have swore that Twitter, before Elon purchased it, they had done something. I remember having to take a screenshot of, I don't know if it was a QR code or something. That way, if you ever logged out, you would need it to be able to log back in. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the Google Authenticator thing, or the QR code to add it to your app.
It wasn't Google Authenticator. It was something else. But I'll have to dig around and see if I can find it.
All right, for our second topic, this one is not InfoSec related, but a follow-up to a story we did last year about tax preparation software company Intuit. Intuit pushed advertisers promoting free tax preparation. They did this at the Super Bowl. They did this at the NCAA Finals basketball tournament. When users would sign up and enter all of their personal and financial information into the website, only when they got to the very end, they would get a notice that they did not qualify for the free tax filing and they would have to pay a fee. Intuit was hoping that people would be so frustrated that they already put everything in that they just pay the fee to file their taxes. Well, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission ruled that the ads were deceptive and ordered them to stop pushing the free software immediately. So they finally got their comeuppance.
I'm like, I don't know if this is a customer or not, so I don't know if I want to comment on it brutally. Those weird things. But no, joking aside, right? That's business. I don't know that we fell victim to it. By we, not me and my wife, but probably my kids. Because I do think that we did use Intuit, but I think they all qualified for it. But again, they're all kind of, not early adulthood. There's not a lot of write-offs and stuff like that. So it's kind of business as usual.
Well, so I guess is it you used it and then you found out it wasn't free, that you had to pay after you did your filings or before you did the filing?
Well, no, they would ask you like all these questions. Did you own a business? Did you use your car?
Yeah.
This, that, and the other thing. It's like to qualify to use
the free.
Or I'm sorry, to use those qualifying exemptions and stuff, you have to pay for the paid version of TurboTax as opposed to the free one.
Right. If all you have is a W-2 and you want to file like a 1040 easy, then I think it's free. But if you have any kind of investment income or interest income or 1099 income, you'd still have to enter all your information in thinking that you were getting it for free. And then at the very end, after you've done all the work of entering everything in, they say, oh, you don't qualify. You pay us $40 for us to file it for you.
Yeah.
I remember looking at that. Maybe one of my kids did qualify. And I'm like, So the software is going to cost me $39, but the savings I get by doing this is going to be $7. I don't know that I care.
Cost benefit at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's lots of free services offered by the U.S. government that the tax preparation lobby is fighting against and trying to suppress it and hide it. But if you make under a certain amount, which I'm sure, Brian, your kids make under this amount, that they qualify for free tax preparation services.
I qualify.
I would say 2 out of the 3 do. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I
What'd you say, Glenn?
I qualify. I don't make enough money, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We know. That's startup syndrome. You'll get there, though, one day, buddy.
Those stock options will be worth something someday.
Yeah.
Monopoly money.
Yeah, well, at least the U.S. government's doing something about it, because that was a pretty shady business practice, and companies shouldn't be allowed to get away with that.
Unless you own a tax preparation company, then you're like, this is my business model. How dare you?
Yeah,
Until it's getting picked on, but I'm sure there's others.
H&R Block and Tax Act, I think there's a bunch of them. That Credit Karma even, I think. But I think all those, they're not as deceptive as Intuit was. I think they advertise the free, and maybe they ask those questions up front. Like, do you have investment income? Yes. All right, you don't qualify. But it is Intuit that made you enter all your information in, and only at the very end they told you that you wouldn't qualify.
Yeah.
Which begs the question of the bigger problem of that our U.S. tax code is way too complicated, and we should all just be able to do it ourselves.
I don't disagree, but I don't want how they do it in Canada.
It's like I said on an earlier podcast that the IRS knows exactly how much I should have paid. Just send me a bill and I'll pay it. I'm happy to pay it, what I owe, but I shouldn't have to hire a CPA to do all this for me.
That's kind of dumb, right? At the end of all that, like you do your filings, you go through all that, and then you find out that you owe more, you overpaid. It's like, that's stupid. They should have just freaking just sent me a bill or freaking sent me a check.
Yep.
I am totally okay, believe it or not, if I overpay, but if I'm short, I'm infuriated. I'm like, damn it, man, I need to get this thing dialed in better. I hate owing money.
I'm still
I'm sure, Glenn, you're the other way around. You're like, you're not getting no free money.
That's right.
Yeah, it's an interest-free loan to the government.
That's
you take
right.
away so much already. You're not getting another penny from me.
I pay the penalty just not to pay them every quarter. Screw that.
Yeah.
Oh man, Glenn, I wish I had your money. Throw my money away.
It's not a lot of money.
From CN Glenn.
It's only a couple $100, so screw that.
You know how many McRibs you can get with that? I'm sure Chris could figure that out quicker.
There's a lot of McRibs.
Yeah. Either that, or I
Is the
just
McRib
need to
gone,
plan
by the
better.
way?
Yeah, the McRib, I think it was only around for a month. It's been gone for a while.
But you
I was
couldn't
very
get in
sad
there.
when I opened up the app.
I couldn't go anywhere to get one. That's what sucked.
You had to come visit me, Glenn. My local McDonald's had it.
Yeah. That's
How many did you consume, Chris?
We only went that one time. The time I ordered 7 of them.
And how many of the 7 did you eat? I just want to know.
I think I ate 2 out of the 7.
Liar.
He ate 3 plus the kids' leftovers.
Yeah, I know. You gotta say, for everyone out there, you have to know how much Chris loves Taco Bell in addition to a McRib. Because I've seen his receipt, and it's just ridiculous how many tacos Chris can eat.
Tacos, Mexican pizzas, burritos,
Enchiladas.
quesadillas.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Homie is popping off.
And don't forget the Diablo sauce.
Yeah. I will say that I think the straight hot sauce is better than the Diablo taste wise.
Yeah. Agree to disagree.
And on that note, so we're doing on top of all of this, we're doing our little fitness challenge. So it's Chris, Glenn, VDL, and myself doing some body weight things and not drinking. We've already heard Glenn complain. So on paper, right, VDL is not going to win. If it was a body weight challenge, like how much weight you lost, he's got nothing, right? The dude's already in shape. So there's that.
Skinny as a rail.
Skinny as a rail. Yeah, he actually needs to eat food. And we actually discussed this earlier today. he always sends pictures of his gym and it's empty. And I decided that Canada people aren't skinny because they
work out
so much. They're just, they don't have money to be able to buy food. They're just barely surviving. But so VDL's out, like, as far as like who can lose the most weight. Chris is shocked that, you know, he stopped drinking alcohol, but he's gaining weight. But also his receipt is longer than my tax filings from Taco Bell. Like, and then I'm like, oh, so it's me versus Glenn. And then what does Glenn do? He doesn't work out at all because he's sick. But he's
losing
dropping
weight.
Tons of, yeah, he's the one losing the most weight out of all of us. Yeah, because he was so sick. So whatever.
Yeah. All right, Glenn's got to take this one this year.
Did we start? Wait, hold on. Did we even do a? I know we did the challenge, but did we even do a starting weight and ending weight? I didn't think we did a starting weight.
I did.
You did?
But I was a weirdo.
No, okay. Brian didn't tell us. He moved the goalpost on us without telling us.
Just today.
Well, you also moved the goal. Like, whatever. You started the whole, like, 3 days into it, we're not drinking. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we didn't agree on that. Not that I was drinking to begin with.
And
but
hence how
that.
I got COVID, because we stopped drinking in January.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that if we take Chris's weight and Glenn's weight, that is probably my net weight as a single man.
I'm pretty heavy. I don't know about you.
I don't know, but you're a short little dude, both of you guys.
I'm stout.
Stout. Yeah.
Husky, as what Asians would call it.
I call it well-fed American.
That's right.
Not like those Canadians.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, for our third topic, Pwn2Own Automotive 2024 is going on right now. And after day one, the teams demoed 24 0 days in a range of cars, charging stations, and infotainment systems. Team Synactive successfully got root privileges on the modem of a Tesla by chain together 3 0 days. No details on the vulnerabilities yet. The vendors now have 90 days to patch the bugs before they're publicly disclosed. On the one hand, it's good that the worst they can do is hack the infotainment system or the modem. We're not as worried anymore about Jeeps braking in the middle of a freeway.
So did they still air gap the I guess the ability of driving, which is kind of hard to believe, especially on Tesla with self-driving. You'd think that you'd be able to bridge the infotainment system to that.
To the driving bus, yeah. The can cam, I think they call it. Yeah, there's very strict firewalls between the infotainment and the drivetrain. Because in my Tesla, I can reboot the infotainment system as I'm driving down the freeway, and nothing will happen to the car, but the computer will reboot itself.
That's
Ew!
scary.
Did you say firewall?
That's
stupid.
scary.
They don't have firewall.
They are firewalled
It's
off.
more like IP tables. What are they? No, it can't even. Like, I don't know. It can't even be that.
It might be a literal firewall, not a. Yeah, it could be an air gap, or the systems are just completely separated.
Yeah, maybe it can't be because, like, in the Tesla, it just knows so much. I mean, how the car can park itself, right?
Yeah.
But what does that have to do with the infotainment system? Like playing music.
That's where you see it doing its thing. Like, it's parking, Tesla Vision, right?
Yeah.
It's aware the car is around. It's doing it's changing lanes, but it must be like one way.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time. It's the Colby Bryant situation here. Just a matter of time. You can kick and scream all you want, but it's still going to happen.
This was a helicopter-related joke.
Yeah, I did too. But
way different direction, Brian.
Well, you'll have to just go read up on it to figure out what the heck I'm talking about. But yeah, the Jeeps I think that was probably the scariest one that we had seen so far, right?
Right. Yeah, the reporter's driving down the freeway, and then someone in a car next to it just slams on the brakes.
I think once the vulnerabilities are actually disclosed, we can go over it. I think we should come back to this and really look into it and try to figure out, was it, remote code execution? Was there just something stupid, like some, SSH port was open with root for the password? Like, I really want to know how they actually got in through those.
Do you guys remember there was a breaking news story about Kia getting hacked by a USB Apple cable or something like that, or USB cable. And the news kept going on and on about this, the Kias and whatever car easily get hacked by a cable. And the whole time I was sitting there going, how did they do that? What did they just connect the cable to your phone, and then there's a rootkit attack by that way? And it turns out all they were doing was just using the USB end, the USB-C end.
The tip of it.
The tip of it, the USB-A, just to turn the freaking ignition key. Stinking reporters, right? What a bunch of dumb morons thinking that it was getting a hack by some cable. And it wasn't the cable, it was just a freaking connector.
So no one trusts the media, Glenn.
Yeah.
And we did hear the story. We've covered it on this podcast about 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
that we have.
Hyundai.
He still has the COVID fog.
Hyundai.
Hyundai. So we actually have a couple of those vehicles, and my daughter, I finally got her to take it in to get fixed.
Yeah.
The fix, all it really is, I think you already talked about it, Chris. The car isn't subject to that if you don't unlock it with the remote.
Yeah.
And then they put a sticker on the driver's side window that says it's been fixed.
Yeah, that's their deterrent.
So if you're a do-getter, please look for the sticker. And also, in unrelated news, for some reason the after sale price of these cars is plummeted. I haven't figured out why.
It was happening so often because the way that the attackers get access to the ignition is they rip apart the steering column. Like, there's a nice way to do it with a screwdriver, but if you're a Kia boy, of course you just rip it apart. So when people get their cars recovered, they said the time to get a replacement steering column is like 5 months or something, just because they need so many of these things, because just so many of them are getting stolen and have to get repaired.
So before that came out, one of my daughters was thinking about like trading her car in, and then she waited, right? It didn't happen. That came out. The price of the car is like pennies, right? And then the insurance on the car is also expensive as well.
It's through the roof, yeah, because they're stolen so often.
For joyrides, no less. Have you guys ever looked into? I've seen the videos of where there's like a Mercedes parked outside someone's house, and they take like a wire mesh antenna, and they'll hold it up to the door of the house, and then they'll simulate somehow the remote
signal. Yeah,
the key fob.
Yeah, the key fob.
That's
someone on the next door for my area posted that they had a basically the same thing. They had some kind of car that is Bluetooth. I think it's BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy, and they used a signal repeater. They got into the car and they drove off with it. And they said, the moral of the story is here: get an RFID blocking box to store your keys in. Yeah,
I moved my keys away from. I used to dump my keys when I go into my house and dump them into a fishbowl right next to the door. And I've since, after seeing that, I've moved the keys away from the door and more towards the hallway where they can't send a signal. So
you need like a Faraday cage for that.
Yeah.
Man, maybe I'm just old school. I just keep the keys in the visor. I don't know.
No, don't have that problem in Mesa.
Wait,
like we have here in the Bay Area.
On the Rivian, do you have to have a key or use your phone?
Use your phone. Or you can use the fob. They actually give you a fob, and then they also give you a key card.
Credit card. Yeah.
And my wife loves to leave the card in the center console of our Rivian. So if you see one, break the window. You're
chances are, yeah.
Yeah.
The other mitigation to this, specifically for Tesla, I don't know if Rivian has it or not. There's PIN to drive. You have to enter a 4-digit code before you can drive the car away. So even if somebody does the signal repeater trick, all they can do is get into your car. They can't drive away with it unless they know the 4-digit PIN.
Oh, okay. We went to out to eat or something. We had to valet the Rivian. I handed the card to the guy, and I was walking away, and I was like, "There's no chance he knows how this car actually works." So I came back to him. He's like, "How do I turn off the parking brake?" I'm like, "Oh, you got to take the card and put it on the door, not the center console." He's like, "Oh yeah, I was wondering. I've never seen this car before."
You should have made him do something kind of funky. It's like, hey, you gotta step left once, go right 3 times. You gotta do the little hokey pokey.
Say the magic word.
Yeah.
It's voice activated.
You gotta blow on the card.
Kiss the steering wheel. So it's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Next time, Glenn, I'll do that.
All right, for our last topic, and it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about brand loyalty. what are your top brands that you are loyal to and why? Since Brian brought this one up, I'll let him go first.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm trying to grab my phone, and of course it was locked. And
He's a Microsoft guy for sure.
Yeah, right. Well, I was thinking about
Windows
it, right?
Yeah.
And I thought the obvious one was like Coke versus Pepsi, right?
Yeah.
But I think for me, it kind of depends. So I love Diet Coke. I mean, if I'm going to have soda, usually it's going to be a diet. And I won't go, like, if I go to a restaurant, they're like, oh, we have Pepsi products. I'm like, guess I'm having water today because I'm not a fan. But in the same breath, like, if I'm going to have, like, a sugar soda, like, Pepsi's my go-to. I love that.
Really?
I'll smash that can quick. Yeah.
You're also a big Monster
So I was going to
guy.
ask.
That's flavor preference. That's not really brand loyalty.
That's not brand loyalty. Like, I thought I was, like, brand loyal to my drinks. I'm not.
Yeah.
But Glenn hit the nail on the head. There is only one energy drink that I drink, and I don't want anything else. Like, go to the airports, and they got Red Bulls, they got Monsters. I'm blind. I see nothing, right? I'm a rock star through and through guy, which happens to be a Pepsi product, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
so I guess
Coke
the
owns Monster.
oh, Coco, okay. Yeah, so I guess the thing was we were supposed to come here with some of our favorite versus some of the ones that were not. The other common one you would probably think is like, Ford versus Chevy. I think it's like this since I was a kid, it was always kind of a thing. And I thought I was a loyal Ford fan, but the reality is not really, right? I have a Ford, but I also have Rivian. I mean, Rivian was invested by Ford for a while until they pulled the plug
I thought
on
that was
it.
Chevy. No? It's Ford?
No, it was Ford.
Chevy
they
invested
were-
in Cruise, the self-driving, and then Amazon invested in Rivian for their electric trucks.
Yeah. And then again, I used to be like a Nike guy. I thought it was just Nikes till I die. And then eventually, and I was like, no, that's not true. I prefer like Adidas now, but I'm not married to it. I will stand on this hill till I die. So McDonald's versus Burger King, I'm going to Burger King 100% of the time. Never McDonald's.
You're never McDonald's kind of
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So no McRib
And then
for
PC
you.
versus Mac, right? So I am brand loyal to Mac. And the same thing, iPhone versus Android. iPhone all day long. I had an Android back in the day, but the moment it was available on Verizon, I was peace out.
Yeah.
Verizon,
No longer.
AT&T.
And then
Verizon.
yeah, well now I'm on AT&T, but I lived in a small town that didn't have AT&T, so I had to wait. So I had I think the Verizon Incredible. Maybe it was the Incredible 2. But I did have a question to you guys. When it comes to medicine, are you like name brand medicine or do you go with the store brand?
So you're like saying, are you Sildenafil or are you the blue pill? Right?
Tadalafil?
Yeah, Kroger.
Tadalafil or Sildenafil?
Yeah.
Which one are you, Brian?
Yeah.
I don't understand the question, but I will tell you that I 100% of the time don't care. I look, I'm like, oh, do I want NyQuil or do I want Sleepy Time by Kroger? I'm like, I always pick the store brand. I don't ever go name brand there for medicine.
Yeah. I don't care.
I'm surprised Brian even has to ask me that. I'm pretty sure you know my answer already.
Yeah. El Cheapo says whatever's on sale.
Well,
Store brand all the way.
you got to
Private
look to
label.
see if the portions are correct, right? So if you get ibuprofen, is it 100% Motrin or is it whatever, right? So you got to look at
Right,
the
that's-
percentages. Sometimes the percentages aren't even equal to each other on the...
That's
What the hell
pro
are you
tip.
talking about?
Yeah. So
On-
you turn to the back of the name brand, you turn to the back of the private label generic, and you look at the active ingredients, and you have to check to make sure the dosage is correct. Because like there's all day, there's maximum strength, there's regular strength. So you have to figure out what the dosage is and make sure. I mean, the stores are pretty good about putting like for like right next to each other, like the Tylenol versus the Wallenol, whatever Walgreens calls it. Like they're usually right next to each other, and there's similar packaging, so you can compare the dosages on that.
Like when it comes to like ibuprofen, it's just like the max I know is 800 milligrams. I just take that. When it comes to medicine, for like when you're not feeling good, usually it's kind of like I don't even read the back of the package. Like if it's a pill, like it's either 2 pills or 1 pill, like right next to each other. So I don't even like. I'm like, there is no math. It's like, oh, this is one of these things. It's like one dose. Now with liquid medication, it's pretty much how much can I chug before I want to go to bed. So I like a bottle of like, the NyQuil equivalent of Kroger or Safeway brand is like, it's usually just 2.
But they taste nasty.
Two servings.
It tastes nasty.
Brian's is reading the suggested serving size. That's for losers.
Well, I mean, it's impossible that I am going to overdose on it. I'm just too big of a dude.
Yeah.
And I just want to get a good night's sleep. So I'm going for the
maximum
double shot.
Strength. Double shot, maximum strength.
Like I don't even use the serving cup. I just pour it into my gullet.
Straight
just
from
a
the bottle.
mouthful.
Just
a mouthful is what I'm going for here, guys. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Maybe that bottle is less than 1 serving when I'm done with it. I have no idea. But it's just pour it in there. Let's go.
He wants to sleep.
He buys it by the gallon.
He wants to sleep. It's too fast.
Now prescriptions, like I'll pay attention to.
Sometimes you don't have a choice,
that
though,
I'm
right?
more weird.
Sometimes you don't have a choice because, like, I know with Kaiser, you're always going to get the generic brand or whatever brand that they carry. So
It also depends
there's a
on
whole
your, pharmacy prescription.
Don't even get me
benefits
started
manager.
on that.
yeah,
By the way, what happened to the pink stuff that we took as kids that was prescription all the time?
Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto?
No, the it grows on old moldy bread.
Penicillin.
Oh, penicillin.
Yeah, like why is like I can't remember the last time I went anywhere with either myself or my kids where we were prescribed penicillin, and it was always like a pink thing that you would shake up.
A different form of penicillin.
They have better antibiotics now, not as potent. They have
I think
amoxicillin, and they have anything that ends in
Is it
cillin
better?
is an antibiotic.
I remember as a kid oh man, I was trying not to do that today. I'll self-edit. I can remember as a kid that the penicillin
Brian's
worked pretty dang well.
ooga.
Yeah, no, you can. Right, I'm trying to make him happy. So, I don't know. Is amoxicillin actually any better?
It's just a different.
I think
it's
so.
a different
Why
type
wouldn't-
of yeah.
No, I what do you I think it is? I think penicillin is like dirt cheap and it's a money grab. So they're like, oh, we're going to come out with this thing called amoxicillin and just charge them $4 because they're greedy.
I found out I am highly allergic to Zosyn, which is a common antibiotic they give you in the ER.
Ooh.
Oh,
So that's on my medical
That's
permanent
normally
record now.
just
Do not give
intravenous.
Chris Zosyn.
That's normally intravenously provided, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right. So
all right,
back to
Chris,
the
you
original
go.
question.
What are you
My-
brand loyal to?
Amazon.
loyal.
Look at
Ford.
him. He's got Amazon right on his damn shirt.
Yeah,
Ford. I think we talked about it. I used to own a Ford. I loved that Ford. I would still have that Ford if it could fit 2 kids in it. But I was pretty, I wouldn't say loyal to it, but I liked them as a brand. They didn't take the bailout in 2008. I can respect them for that. I probably would have gotten the F-150 Lightning, the electric F-150, if they lowered their price. If it weren't for the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, causing every company to raise their prices by $7,500, I probably would have got the F-150 Lightning if it was like 42-ish, which is probably what you should be paying for it. But I'm going to wait for my Cybertruck, which is the second brand I'm loyal to is Tesla. I think overall, I've had the Model X for 6 years. It's a great car. Like, love that car. Love the buying experience of it, that I don't have to go in there and haggle and everything. You just do everything online. Everybody pays MSRP. If you're an employee there, if you're Elon Musk, everybody pays the same price for it. Just buy it online, go in, pick it up, and you're done. Hassle-free. So I think the next car we get most likely is going to be a Tesla. Apple, I don't know if that's so much brand loyalty or if it's ecosystem lock-in.
Yeah.
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 Watch, iPad, iPhone, Mac. I'm trying to look around, like, what other Apple devices do I have?
You have
AirPods.
HomePods.
HomePod's the one I don't have.
Oh,
I do
wow.
not have a HomePod because I didn't want
Apple TV.
to do. Yeah, Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
But they make a great product. And I was talking to somebody about it and saying that I copy a link from my iPhone and I hit Control or Command V on my Mac, and everything just seamlessly talks to each other. The AirPods automatically connect to whatever device I'm on. It's like everything just works. They
That's ecosystem.
Yes, they are way more expensive.
Yeah.
But everything just works. I rarely have issues with Apple stuff.
If Android and PC got their act together and you could seamlessly move between those devices, it would probably be an easy switch, right? But they don't, and that's the problem.
It is. It's because they don't own the hardware stack either. It's like Asus makes the laptop, and then Huawei makes the phone. Like, how do you make those two talk to each other? You probably can't easily do that.
Blockchain.
But Apple owns the hardware. Apple owns the hardware. Apple owns the software. Apple owns this.
Yeah.
Apple owns the cloud service. Like, just everything just works brilliantly with Apple. On the other side, the opposite, what brands will we never support? Dick's Sporting Goods. This might be a controversial one, but it was.
Oh.
I remember Dick's right out. I think it was the Parkland shooting, and Dick's came out with this thing that says, "Oh yeah, we're not going to sell AR-15 style rifles." Not only did they not sell them anymore, like they destroyed them, they threw it in a shredder, and they said, "We're not going to sell any magazine that holds more than 10 rounds," even though they're perfectly legal in at least 40 of the 50 states out there. But they just took this virtue signaling stance, which was kind of interesting for them to do. And then they tried this experiment where they stopped selling even legal firearms from any of their stores. They had stores that wouldn't sell firearms. They had stores that did sell firearms. They wanted to see if there's some kind of boycott effect on it. I think they said it had no effect. So I don't remember where they stood, but it says, well, I disagree with your stance on that. I just never stepped foot in one again after that. And I don't have to be loud about the boycott or anything. I just choose to spend my money somewhere else.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. I will notice, or I will say, I think I was there not too long ago, and I was like, kind of a limited selection of weapons and ammunition here, folks. I wonder what's going on. Now I know.
Yeah, and the whole Walmart thing of they're not going to sell any. What did they call it? They called it armor piercing. Oh, they called it short barrel rifle ammunition. That was another stupid thing. That literally isn't a thing. They don't make ammo specifically for short barreled rifles, but you can't really boycott Walmart because they sell everything, and 90% of the population is within 20 minutes of one.
You could spend less money with them, right? So, like I said, I just like you said, I can just quietly not spend my money at places. So,
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like if you want to take a stance, just do it. I just don't spend money there. I buy it from their competitor. Who cares? But all these people really loud on social media, boycott this, boycott that. I'm like, yeah, I don't care for that.
Yeah. I think. How do you feel about Sam's Club? Are you guys a Sam's Club guy or
Costco?
A Costco guy?
Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I had
only
both.
because there's none by me.
Yeah, I had both I have both at different periods of time, and I always end up just keeping Costco. So the credit card.
I remember not knowing better or what Sam's Club was, and I remember walking around in there. I'm like, damn, it's like a damn Walmart. Ugh. And then I found out oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Well, it's hilarious
with the
though.
membership.
They do have at Sam's Club they have this cowboy steak that's $9.99 a pound. It's a big 2-inch cut, really juicy, really good. But that's the only thing I would go in there to buy. Everything else was just kind of I'll go to Costco. The meat, I think the meat's better at Costco. So from a brand loyalty standpoint, I like them. So
I think I sent you guys a video of a New York strip that I had made the other day, and that was from Sam's Club. Not only was it, from Costco. Not only was it delicious, but it was actually cheaper than my local grocery store.
Yeah,
for the amount
as
of
long as you buy in bulk.
Yeah.
All right, Glenn, you're
that's
up.
what they want you to believe, Chris.
Yeah. I like Costco. Like I said, just talking about Costco, I like Costco because I can go in there if I have a problem with anything that I buy from them, they'll take it back, no questions asked. Right? I'm a big Toyota guy. I wasn't before, but I am now. So all my cars are Toyota. Shut up.
What brand, Glenn?
Shut up. Yeah.
Hyundai.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? I'm a big Amazon guy. I don't know why, but this latest shift in Amazon that kind of has me upset is the fact that they're replacing the normal brands that I like to see with these off brands from who knows where. That I'm like, hey, what is this? I don't
Whoever
want
pays
this.
them the most to get their
exactly.
search result to the top.
Yeah. That I think they need to fix that.
I get all of my ibuprofen from the Wuhan labs. on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
The other upsetting thing about Amazon is they're going to start inserting ads in the Prime Video streaming unless you pay like $3 a month.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
It's like they've already watered it down so much, they keep raising the price. It's like now they want to throw ads into it.
What are some of the brands that I just don't care for anymore? The NBA, right? I just don't care for overpaid guys to sit there and cry about how unfair the world is when they're getting paid millions. It's like, I just don't follow that.
Say LeBron.
Yeah.
That's what you really do.
Yeah. He's the leader of that pack, right? It's like, hey, I like you. I like the way you play. I just don't care for the politics. Don't give me the politics. That's not what I'm paying to watch, right? Or
the off the court stuff.
Yeah, the off the court stuff antics.
Yeah, it's like he's showing up to like a 20-car pile up and complaining that his chain fell off his bike. It's like, all right, dude, we got a bigger problem.
Yeah. Things like
talks
Facebook.
About oppression in America. He won't speak up about oppression in China.
Yeah. Things like Facebook, I just tend to stay away from these days. Like, this wokeness really has me upset. So I'm like, I'll just not do my thing over there, right? So again, just being quiet.
Yep.
I do stay away from. This is a thing for me. I stay away from off-brand gas. I don't know about you guys, but if it's like a Rotten Robbie,
I don't buy gas anymore, Glenn.
Yeah, well, yeah, shut up. Yeah, but like a Rotten Robbie versus a Chevron or a Shell, I'd rather go to a Chevron and pay a little bit more because I know that the gas. Not necessarily the fact that it's better, it's just that the tanks are going to be better. Not possible to contain contamination inside there.
Yeah.
We just go to a gas station. I'm sorry, the grocery stores have a gas station and you spend money there and get like $1 off a gallon.
Yeah. Safeway.
I have no idea if it's good or bad. It's new,
Safeway has that
right?
here.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm at a Costco gas station anyway. So,
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But yeah.
What about airlines? I want to know, guys.
Southwest, man. What are you talking about?
You can wrap it up.
United.
Yeah. United on Jay's credit card number.
Yeah, the points.
Yeah, the points.
Buy it with points.
Yeah. So.
Brian Southwest because you're a feeding sub.
No, I'm done with them, man. They're dead to me.
All right, let's go.
I'll have to save that for next week.
Yeah. All right, wrap it up.
Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, I'm up. I hate my job. All I do is crush cans all day. It's just soda pressing.
Wow. All right.
Pity laughter.
Yeah, that was okay.
All right, to wrap things up, turn on passkeys for your X account. Intuit got their hand slapped. Your smart car is protected for now. And long live Apple. That's all we have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to all our listeners and subscribers who rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. For my co-hosts Brian Deach and Glenn Medina, I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week. And as always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, y'all.
Have a nice day.